pause to consider how someone is consistently treating you. Welcome to Mother-Daughter Connections, the show dedicated to educating, encouraging, and equipping moms to build lasting, meaningful connections with their daughters. I'm your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. My heart is to be of help to you. I believe that your relationship with your mom is the foundation for your future success, personally, parentally, and professionally. Now remember, even though I'm a licensed psychologist, I'm not your shrink on this show. I am, however, here to share my opinions and those of my guests. If you have concerns about your mental health, please seek services from a mental health provider in your local area. Now join me as we pause to consider today's topic. Well, hi there and welcome. I am so glad that you're here with me today. You know, there's this old song. It goes like this. You gotta have friends, la 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 la, friends, la 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 la. Okay, enough of my singing. There are many songs that have been sung, hopefully better than, more than likely better than what I've just sung, that have penned and sung about what a good old friend or bestie would do for you. And there are many messages out there, but the key question I have for you today is, what is a friend? Now, if you're in your teen or tween years, I'm sure you could give me a great answer. And I really want to hear from you. So just email me at dr.deering@curativeconnection.com with the subject line, a friend. And let me know the top 3 qualities you look for in a friend. Again, my email is dr. with a little dot at the end, DEERING at CURATIVECONNECTIONS.com. That's dr.deering@curativeConnections.com with the subject line, a friend. And let me know the top 3 qualities you look for in a friend. Now, while you're thinking about that and getting on your email and sending that to me, I'd like you to just join me for a moment to pause to consider, who is friend material? Now, in the decades I've been working with moms and daughters, I've listened to countless stories about situations that young, what I call my queens in training, like yourself, what young queens in training have experienced with friends, and those that they've thought were their friends but ended up not being their friends. And today, I want to share with you 7 questions to ask yourself to determine, if you answer these questions honestly, to determine if someone is friend material. Now, I'll share the first 3 questions with you today, and I'll pick it up next week when we get together. The first question has to do with feelings, all right? And by that, I mean you want to ask yourself the question, how do I feel when I'm around this person and after I've been with that person? Now, by this question, I'm asking you to look at and assess what effect is this person having on you emotionally, mentally, and physically. Do you end up feeling good, uplifted, energized, not just when you're with them, but also when you're not? Another way to think about it is, do they drain you or not? Do you feel more hopeful when you're in their presence? Or if a thought of them crosses your mind, there's something that's just very positive and settling? Or are you all in a tizzy when you think about them? Or does it cause your mind to just go on to a whole bunch of other things and just circle and circle and spin around and spin around? All right. That's what I mean by asking yourself the question, how do you feel when you're with that person and after you've been with them? The second question that is very important for you to ask yourself has to do with the area of respect. Now, anytime you hear the word respect, or at least I do, I think of the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, when she belted out the song, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. All right, I'm going to spare you me singing the rest of that because she does it way better than I do. But you need to think about what that word means for you, okay? Now, anyone, and I know your moms have probably been listening to me on this podcast for a while, and this is maybe your first time listening to this podcast, if you're a young queen in training. But I'm a wordsmith. I like words, where they come from and stuff. And the word respect comes from the Latin word, two of them. The first part is re, which means again, and the second part, spectare, means to look. In essence, respect means to look again. Now, relationally speaking, when determining if someone is friend material, you need to ask yourself, does this person consistently take the time to look again at how their actions and inactions affect you? This question is meant for you to pause to consider how someone is consistently treating you. For instance, is that person consistently talking over you while you're trying to say something? Or are they consistently telling you your feelings are not a big deal? Or is this person consistently highlighting things in their own life right after you've brought up something that you've accomplished in your life? These things are indicating that that person, if they're doing that, that person is not respecting you. They're not respecting what you have to say. They're not respecting your feelings or not respecting your space and time to shine. I kind of see that friendship without respect is like a ship at sea without rudders or a sail. If respect does not exist in your friendship with someone, you're going to get treated any which way and not have any way to steady yourself. Okay, so really give some thought to that question about respect. And does that person consistently take the time to look again at how their actions or inactions affect you? And the third question, which we'll end on today, that I'd like you to pause to consider, it has to do with inquiries. Here, I want you to look to see, better yet, I want you to hear whether someone is asking you how you're doing, asking you how you're feeling, or showing interest in and asking you about what you're thinking. And it's not just about them asking, how you doing, what you feeling, how you feeling, or anything like that. It's not just about them asking you the question, but also more so about what they do or how they respond after they've asked you such questions. I'm sure you've encountered, where someone says to you, how you doing? You go, fine. Or you ask someone, hey, how's it going? They're like, fine. And everyone just keeps walking. Okay. I'm talking about a friend who is asking you questions, but is actually pausing with you to actually listen and take the time to be with you in the moment. Does that person that you are thinking about, whether or not they're friend material, does that person do that for you? Do they let you finish your answer before they're telling you about their stuff? Do they actually pause and wait for you to respond? Do they actually ask you follow-up questions to your answers? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, so what's been going on? What's been making it fine? That's what I'm talking about. Your observations will tell you more about the quality of your relationship and let you know if that person is friend material. So far, I've shared the first 3 of 7 questions to ask yourself in order to determine whether or not someone is friend material. And those 3 questions are: 1, how do you feel when you are with them and when you're not with them? 2, do they respect you? 3, do they inquire about what you're thinking, feeling, and how you're doing? Now, this is a list I've come up with from my work with moms and daughters. However, I do want to hear from you and what you have to say. So send me an email. Send it to dr.deering@curativeconnections.com with the subject line, a friend, and let me know the top 3 qualities that you look for in a friend. Again, that's dr.deering@curativeconnections.com TIVECONNECTIONS.com with the subject line, a friend. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Remember, you are not alone in your daughterhood journey. I am in your corner, my queen of training. And Mom, if you're listening to this episode, either with your daughter or by yourself, just know I'm in your corner too, and I'm here for you. If you have any specific questions for me, please fill out my brief survey and I'll answer your questions on an upcoming episode. Just go to the URL bit.ly/Daughter Talk Survey. That's bit.ly/Daughter Talk Survey. I look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions on air. Be encouraged. Healthy mother-daughter relationships are possible. They just take one connection at a time. I'll see you next week. You've been listening to Mother-Daughter Connections with me, your host and mother-daughter relationship personal trainer, Dr. Michelle Deering. Thanks so much for joining me today. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Share this episode with a friend so they don't miss an episode. And download the resource in the show notes. Until next time, remember to pause to consider how you can connect intentionally so you can improve relationally with your daughter.